Well, hey, it's day 13 of 100 Days of Surrender. Almost 2 weeks into this. It is flying by. Um, Yesterday was great. Holy damn, it was great. Today, calm, but also great. So I gave up a lot of things, surrendered into letting go of a lot of things. And this interesting transition is happening in my drive. So my awareness, my feistiness, not force, not bitchy, not just I'm fire. Like I'm fire right now. And it's so good. It's so good. Like I really wish this for every human. It's amazing right now. And so I've done a lot of processing, been really reflecting on okay, so energy has transitioned. I am back to I have like we all have many layers of ourselves, right? And there's a lot of diversity in this woman. So I can be very deep, philosophical, very connected, very empathetic, right? Like I'm a crazy empath. Um, I can be excessively dorky, hyper, funny. I think I'm hilarious. I like have this strong desire to do stand-up comedy. But I'm not funny when I need to be. So that's not going to go well. Um, but this like lively, passionate, driven, fiery, geeky, nerdy self is all on display. And I'm hyper again, and I'm full of like vitality and energy. And it's so good. And then other moments, I'm like, let me observe myself right now. So a lot of clarity, a lot of excitement. Um, Yesterday was Sunday, so I spent so interesting. Okay, let me back it all up to what I'm really going through and what I really want to share. So, number one, I can't go anywhere right now. I don't know what the fuck is in my vortex that is saying, give me your phone number. But everywhere I go, it's a higher caliber compliment, we'll put it. Um, Commenting on my energy or the way I carry myself being very attractive, or um, not the traditional, like, I always get like, oh, always like, oh, your eyes, they're so sparkly, or they're so sensual, or it's always on my eyes. And I mean, like, they're lovely, but whatever. I don't need to hear about it from every fucking dick that's out there. So it's interesting having a different set of compliments arrive to me. I'm not a young, hot, fit, firm 20-year-old. I also think that that story is bullshit, and that your confidence, your energy is what people see. They'll see you through the perception of what you are offering to the world. And so I do get a lot of compliments, and I have been offered a lot of phone numbers over the last um, few days. So that's interesting. Don't really care. Not my focus right now. However, I did get into a very interesting conversation with a gentleman and flat out asked him, so what do you do to balance your masculine and feminine? And what do you do to nurture your feminine side? And without missing a beat, had a great answer. And I was like, oh, wow, like men actually do think about this. This is fabulous. I don't think the majority of humanity thinks about that. But anyway, so it's like these little sparks of, sometimes you can get a little cynical and like, not that I'm like, there's no good fish in the sea because I'm not looking, but sometimes I doubt very much so. I will have moments, not days or hours, moments of, I don't know if there is a match for me with my diversity. Because I can go from totally hyper nerd socialite, which is two totally different things. Like I wear a blow up unicorn costume in public. Like I love attention. I am a Leo rising. Two, I love bringing life to life. I'm very passionate. I talk to aliens. I channel aliens. Like there's a lot of diversity, right? So I get these little moments of, I don't know if there is a good match for me. I don't know. And that can get a little bit like, because our egos will go into, where are they? Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so I'm getting a higher caliber compliment and conversation exchange, even in the grocery store line, which is super fascinating. I'm just watching it. I'm not attaching to it. It doesn't matter to me right now because I'm on my journey of 100 days, but just interesting that it's a higher caliber. So I'm like, okay, something's shifting for sure. Um, so there's that piece, and then there's these little itty bitty conversations that I'm like, oh, look at like this is really fascinating that this is what's being reflected back to me now. That's kind of new. So I like that. I'm just observing it. I don't have an answer. Anyways, that was a lot of rambling. Into the next point. I'm doing a lot of processing on how did I fall in love with myself? And how do I want to teach that? And so it's kind of given me this strong desire, even though I can be like honestly, like those who know me, I am such a dork. I can be so awkward. I and I'm okay with it. Like I actually quite like that about myself. I'm really into nerdy, like dorky, silly, playful banter. I'm very, very hyper in moments to the point where it's like, holy shit, take it to a like you're at a 12, take it to a 4. So there's this weird quirky piece of me. There's this very deep, obviously, spiritual side of me. There's this very powerful side of me, um, very powerful. And so I kind of want to show you that version of myself, and bring that more to the table because I don't really bring that to the world very often unless I'm in public, or talking to, yeah, I just own myself is what I'm trying to say. And so to get to that level, and I've done a lot of chatting with my sisters, I I've been trying to put together how did I get here at 170-ish pounds and 5'3"? Like that's curvy. Um, how did I get here? How did I get to this level of love and confidence and acceptance? And so I've been writing notes and processing that. And I'll probably bring that forward in a course at some point. Not yet, but at some point. And how did I get so fierce and fiery and self-assured? And I look at, and this is the vulnerable piece, okay? So I came from nothing, very tainted, very broken, very insecure. I was extremely underweight, as a teenager and picked on for that. I had a weird cross between, I developed large breasts. This was before my breast reduction, large breasts at a very young age, um, very petite, pretty teenager, but super skinny. And so it was a weird cross between, okay, my boobs get me attention. So is that what we do? Do we display our sensuality in order to get attention, which I did? Um, Learned the walk, the confident walk, like fake it, right? Fake it till you make it. On the inside, broken, broken little girl. No confidence, no doubt, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of pain, a lot of neglect, and didn't know how to figure it all out. Ended up getting married at a very young age. That's a whole other thing. I was 18. Who lets their 18-year-old get married or encourages or pushes their 18-year-old into marriage? But anyway, that was the case. Interesting faiths out there, we'll put it at that. And during the first 8 months, went into a massive depression, which I've been open about, like very suicidal, hid that from the world, very miserable, um, a horrible place to be, very, very depressed and very anxious. And in that depression, I ended up gaining like a whopping 8 pounds. Like I was 100 pounds, like, okay, this is not a problem here. But that 8 pounds destroyed my self-image. Like I was like a double zero and that was too big. And my self-image was destroyed over 8 pounds. That is not a healthy mindset at all. And then I got pregnant. And with that, my body was like, cool, let's catch up to where we should be and then see how big we can get. So I gained like 60 pounds or something, or 65 pounds with my daughter, my firstborn. Again, destroyed my self-image. And just before my 20th birthday, had her and had all of the evidence on my body of her. So the mommy tummy, the stretch marks, extra weight, and my self-image plummeted. And I didn't get that back till my 30s. And got really sick years and years later, had my son, same thing. So it's like I got stretch marks this way with my daughter, stretch marks this way with my son. Awesome. Now I don't care. But then, ooh, man, I wouldn't even wear shorts. And I was like 110 pounds when I was said and done with my kids. I wouldn't wear shorts because I thought I was just a monster. Like really distorted body dysmorphia on a whole level of like dysfunction and anxiety, depression. I didn't know who I was. I had no idea how to be a mom. Um, I just knew I didn't want to be what I was raised by. And it was hard. It was like watched myself shrink and shrink and shrink and become very desperate to be kept and to be loved, which led down a lot of bad choices. As I shared in a previous video, I would have done anything just to be kept, and I literally did. My second husband, I don't know who the fuck I was back then. Jesus Christ. It's almost embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. But I love her now. But man, this guy cheated on me. I caught him cheating on me. He talked his way out of it. Oh, I just kept going. I was like, oh, it's me. I'm the crazy one. Like, the only good thing about him was he liked curvier women, so I felt safe gaining weight. It was the only thing. So cool. That was a lesson. Um, when I left him, I ended up plummeting again into very unhealthy habits and did desperately lost as much weight as I could to get as small as I possibly could because somehow that was my identity. Oh, man. And now when I hear women use all the filters, like excessive filters, babe, go fuck yourself. And here's what I mean by go fuck yourself. Go in the bedroom and fuck yourself. Learn to love yourself. Get up with the DJ, flip the bean, whatever that looks like for you. Go fucking start loving yourself. Honor yourself. It hurts my heart. It's a fire in me now when I watch a man or a woman, because we both do it, disrespect our own bodies. Man, it hurts. I get real passionate, comes across as angry. I cannot handle thriving in a society that profits off of self-loathing at all. And I refuse to do it. And one of the beautiful quirks and gifts that I am so fucking grateful for that I've had my whole life is I never wanted to fit in. I never wanted to look like anybody else, be like anybody else, dress like anyone else. I never wanted to fit in. And I never tried to fit in. It's the only gift that I can say that I held on to from a very young age. And I'm very grateful for that. That's freedom, just that desire, right? And so yesterday was a whole day of processing and reflecting on, because like I busted my ass working yesterday. Oh my God, I was a multifaceted, tasking queen yesterday. I did a beautiful workout session. I made meals. I cleaned. I did laundry. I did self-love. I went fucked myself even. Like I took care of things, right? TMI, I know. Whatever, get over it. And then I worked. I sat there and made all the tutorials for the upcoming retreat on this Saturday, the 14th. I busted my ass and I didn't even have a drink yesterday, like a zero drink. That was awesome. Just didn't want it, which was cool. Gave up wine like however many days ago. That's great. That's going amazing, by the way. So there's just this moment of like, I'm a fucking badass. And I'm not saying that to boast, but I worked hard. I fucking did it all wrong. I did it all backwards. I went through all the pain, all the disgusting ups and downs. I shamed myself for so long. I felt so fucking unworthy of love, sex, touch. I like lights off for the longest time. Don't like put your hand around my waist because it's going to be on my muffin top. Like, oh my God, ooh, stretch. I like all those things. Wear black all the time. That way no one can tell. Like all of the things for the majority of my life. I'm 44 now, and I would say I've been owning myself, really, really owning myself, really, truly owning myself fully for at least 4 years. There was a defining moment like about 4 years ago where all of a sudden the neurotic piece of me, that old habit of me being a single woman and back in Ontario, Canada, like where it's totally different here than it is anywhere else in the world, but whatever. Um, being like, why can't I lose weight? Why want my body? Who I am on the inside is not being reflected on the outside. Like, this is not how I feel when I see pictures of myself. Like, what is happening? And so I went down this rabbit hole for a few months and realized that's what I was doing. And I was like, okay, no, 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 no. What the F is this? So 4 years now, I have truly, truly, truly been in love with myself on every fucking level, even all of this, every ounce of it. I honor it, man. I love this shit. And if you don't like it, you're you're a piece of shit. Not my problem. We all have our preferences. Yes, I'm not asking you to have this preference. But if you're against it or you're judgmental towards it, because we all are supposed to look different. So fuck society standards. I have a real problem with people like that. Like I will use words. Because like, what the fuck? Who do you think you are if you're going to judge someone's body for going through what it's going through, right? So this has sort of taken me into the badass that I am. And to the point where I'll share a funny story. Like, this is how much I own myself. My Christmas party with the girls, kind of a funny story. Um, it was a party, okay? We had a party. It was a party. And at the end of the party, we, in our party state, no judgment, decided there's this like trashy ass dance bar. So we're like, let's go fucking dance. Yeah. So off we go. And we get there, the girls plop into the booth, and I go up to the bar to order a round of drinks. And some little horn dog decided he was going to slip into the booth. And like instantly, the moment I turned my back, bam, in the booth. And was so persistent that even though there was body language of no, thank you, please leave, and there was no, thank you, please leave, this little fuckhead would not leave. So I turned around, strutted my ass over there because I do have a power walk, leaned right into his face, like right across the table. Like, I think you're confused. They're mine. Move. And I held it. I had to say it twice, and he moved. And no one messed with us the rest of the night. You're not allowed in my vortex unless I say so. So I don't know who you think you are, but that's where you belong, not here. So this is this force that I have. Not because I'm a bitch, although I can be, only when deserving. More so because I fucking love myself a lot, a lot. And I take my energy very seriously, not for selfish reasons, but because I choose to be of service. And my vortex, my energetic vortex, my electromagnetic field, my aura, you're not invited unless I tell you you're invited. Don't intermingle your energy with me because I have things to accomplish on this planet. So move aside. And if I invite you in, you better stay here because if not, step aside. That's how I function. I can't even imagine all of the comments that might come from people who do not understand that yet. I'm very loving. I'm very passionate and compassionate. I make friends everywhere I go, and I'm an underdog. I am an underdog. So I root for the underdog always. I get it. Team underdog all the way. All the way. However, no, I'm not playing small. I'm not going to be small. And this is what I want to teach now. I have been teaching, I love teaching, oh my God, moving your frequency from survive to thrive, quantum physics, mechanics, and entanglement is like, oh, how to take that and put it into your life. Fucking right. Let me teach that every day for the rest of my life. That's awesome. But I want to bring this to the table, not because I want to create a nation of fierceness. I don't want to create a whole crew of bitches. That's not it. I want women and men to love themselves so fully that their energy demands it before they even arrive. I want your energy to be so fucking strong that people will move aside if they cannot match it, and they will not waste your time, and they will not bring you down, and they will not attack you, and they will not harm you. They will just go off and do something different. I want you to align with this high vibe. I want you to own yourself and your worth. I want you to fuck yourself. I want you to know yourself inside and out so that nothing can deter you from aligning with everything that's there for you. So I want to start threading that in. I really would love feedback. Like, this is me being really vulnerable. You're seeing a side of me that I don't offer to the world because most people can't comprehend what I'm trying to say. They think I'm just being a bitch. But that's not it. I'm self-whole. I am not selfish. I don't do anything ish. I'm self-whole. And when we're self-whole, we own that. And then I have an overflow that I am able to offer to those who are deserving, worthy, capable, and willing to receive it. So you don't have to be deserving right off the hop. Deserving, capable, willing, open to it. And that's what I want for you. So this was like my aha moment last night. 13 days in. I'm like, I'm fucking fierce. I'm a fucking bad ass boss babe, for lack of better stupid terminology. But that's where I'm at. And this is where I've been at. And I haven't shared that. So I always say I can take you as far as I've gotten. Step up. Let's go. Let's do this. My shirt says need some space, not some dick, just so you know, because I did get a comment on that. Although eventually in 80 something days, that will be the case as well. Not that I'll advertise that. Okay, so how do we do this? What are the phases? What are the steps? What are the layers? When it's limitless, how far you can take this. And the more you love yourself, let me tell you, the more freedom you have, the more you align with absolute ease. So yes, the best way. And I'm going to sound like whatever, take it for what you want. Divine Alignment, the program we offer, will take you there. I've taken a lot of people there. And so have my mentors, Sarah Rose and Lisa. We've got you. So there's that. The second piece of this is you have to learn how to love your 4 bodies. You have 4. You've got your emotional, your mental, your physical, and your spiritual body. If you can't love all 4 of those, not going to happen. If you can't love yourself on all 4 levels, you will never attain that big vision you have. You won't. You'll get bits and pieces of it. Absolutely, you will. You'll get hunks of it, but you will not get the full thing because you have to become that highest vibration of love. Unconditional love, right? We've heard this term, unconditional love. Jesus is all about unconditional love. Christianity is all about unconditional love, but look how unconditional that is. Side note, Unconditional love starts with, can you love yourself unconditionally? So let's do some processing together. One, I want to hear your comments. I want to hear on a scale of 1 to 10, how, if 10 is the ultimate, where are you at? Hit me up. I want to know. I want to know in the comments. Two, write down your 4 bodies. What do they need from you? I'm going to give you a big hint right here, okay? Your emotional body is your inner child. What does that babe need? So I want you to start to process, what does that babe need? This is very in-depth in the retreat that's coming up on the 14th, 21, 28th of January. I give you all the homework. There's a shit ton. Oh my God, so many beautiful little tutorials for your homework sheets. That's there for you. But there's so much information out there, and healing your inner child isn't simply a one-time thing. It doesn't happen in a week. It happens over and over and over again. So let's do some processing. Let's look at that. I spent last night, when I was done being the badass self that I am, I then put my shit away and I put on music and I sat with my actually my 14-year-old self. And I was like, hey, look at us. And the feeling, because that being, that memory, that energy, that's your emotional body. All the past versions of yourself are connected to your emotional body. And so when I was spending time with my 14-year-old self and being like, look, babes, like, you made it. Not only did you make it, not only did you arrive, you fucking kick ass. Like, you're a cool little bitch. Let's do this. And this, like, ooh, feeling this vibration shifted through me so big that I was like, I really did arrive. There's no destination for arrival. There's no destination. It's a journey. Ooh, but I moved into a different book. I closed the chapter on self-doubt. I closed it on lack of love, worth, all those things. And I am pretty fierce in where I'm at. So let's start with that. So is it 8-year-old you, 14-year-old you? Which version? 16-year-old you? This morning I chatted with like 30-year-old me that married that D-bag, my second husband. Not that I'm trying to disrespect anyone, but like some of you know him. Like, come on, what was I thinking? But cool. Learned a lot out of that. So yeah, this morning I spent some time with that woman and I was like, oh man, girl, like you learned a lot. Here you are. Like, this is a different version. You're good now. You're solid. You got this. That was really fulfilling. And it changes your vibration. That lifts your vibration. Your vibration, the higher it is, the higher the vibration you're receiving. And it's all about, it's not that it's low or high or worse or better. It's actually an expansion. It's like a bonfire and a block of ice is how I relate it. Low vibration is stagnant, stiff. It needs to thaw a bit. We'll use that. And high vibration is blazing fire. That's like, that's what I want. Bring it. So it's like a real basic way to kind of look at it. It's not that it's better or worse, it just is. But the higher your vibration or the more expansive your vibration, the law of attraction is responding to that. And so you're receiving high vibration if you are high vibration. So I'm all about like, how expansive can I get this? Because the more I receive, the more I offer. And I'm all about being of service. So win-win, right? Like I get the best life and I get to do what I love and I get to change lives. I get to take all of this hardship that I've been through, the self-doubt, all that crap. Sappy sadness, the pain, oh my God, and the torture. Holy shit, the torture. Like the internal dialogue torture. All of that despair. And I've been able to turn it into something. So there's that. I feel like I've rambled for a really long time. Day 13. All right. How fierce do you want to be, baby? Want to do it with me? I can take you as far as I've gotten. All right, I love you. See you tomorrow.